Hey everyone, it's Rachel back again with another reaction video. Today I'm going to be doing a request that was picked from the generator. It's called For Whom the Banshee Cries, and it's by Sold Soul. I picked this out of the generator technically at the end of 2020, and then on my live stream, somebody asked me to listen to this, but it had already been requested on the list by somebody in my server and got picked, so I couldn't do it on the live stream. I had already picked it for the request video, so I wanted to make sure as soon as possible in 2021 I got to this video, so I'm finally doing it. I've never heard anything by Sold Soul before, but I know a lot of people are very into them. I've heard a lot of great things about them. I am not really sure what to expect given the different variety of people that have suggested Sold Soul to me before. I am not 100% sure, but I feel like heavy. If I had to guess, of course. But anyway, that is what I know. That is where we are at. This was picked by the generator. I will go over at the end of the video how to submit a request to be potentially picked by the generator. So I'm going to stop talking and we are going to get straight into it. Sold Soul, For Whom the Banshee Cries. Let's discuss how neat this was as a track. I really like how the intro had this feel to it that was cinematic, and really it was entirely different from the rest of the song. I like when an intro has kind of like this eerily calm vibe to it, and then it's like some heavy ass song, which was definitely the case in this song. Also, the mixing and mastering on this track was incredible. The mix was phenomenal. One of the best mixes that I think I've heard on a track, where I just don't think that anything at all needs to be like, oh, I wish I could hear this a little bit more, oh, that's kind of buried. Nothing in this one seemed that way. It was an awesome mix. It sounded really cool with headphones. Definitely a track that I feel like I need to revisit a bit more, like quite a bit more, in order to get the full picture, because there was a ton to hear on this. The opening vocals had more of like a layered type sound, whereas when it fully kicks in, it's more of like a narrow sound. I'm not sure if anyone else ever uses narrow to describe that type of change, but to me it really makes sense, and I like that. But also, when those unclean vocals kick in, you can also hear like harmonizing right away, and it does not take very many of my videos to know that that is definitely something that I love to hear, so I liked hearing that harmonizing right away. The opening vocals, like in the ones that I was talking about that had the layers on there, I like those, but for me, like the most impressive vocals on here were definitely the high notes, I think. Don't get me wrong, the lows were definitely impressive as well. You have the low notes on the all shall hear as the banshee cries lyric, like that really deep, where I had to go look up what lyrics were at what point in order to know that, but at that point, when it drops super low, that's what's being said. And then after that, there's a portion where it goes to a portion that says, "This earthly thrall," or something like that. And at that portion right there, "This earthly thrall," or the line that opens up that says something at least similar to that right after it, that line, the groove, like the whole beat of the song at that point in time was my favorite part of the whole thing. Like where it switched at that part right there and where it kicks in, to me that is like, oh my gosh, that was one of my favorite parts of the whole song. I do like what the vocal feature added to this song as well. I feel like you get a feature on one of these tracks, and it's really important for which way you could go with a feature like this, because with her voice and the way that her feature went, I feel like it's totally different. If you take the song alone and the vocals on the song alone, that type of thing, and you look at what type of feature you think would be put on there, it probably wouldn't be what it is, but it fits very nicely because that was the vibe they were going for, I think. If that makes sense, like I wouldn't have imagined that feature there, but this song would not have had the type of vibe or the type of feel that it did without it. So, like, I'm not sure how they envisioned something like that or hear it or whatever, but that female voice is just so different, and it's like if you were to take her vocal part on this song alone, it would not be my style of music, my style of vocal, and probably not something that you would pair up with this sort of music. But when something like this is done, it works very well. So I always find that really interesting. I always wonder like how the feature came to be, how the song came to be, that type of thing. I wonder going into this if they knew who they wanted to have do the vocal part, how different it ended up sounding from how the person who wrote it imagined it. Those sorts of things are just questions that run through my head with stuff like this. But overall, this song was sick. This is a really awesome one. I think for me, there is like a threshold for this vocal style, not the feature or anything, but like this specific vocal style. I'm still getting more into this sort of music, while like for me, something that goes on repeat is something with like a heavy ass breakdown, a sweet chorus that I can like jam to. But these songs and this sort of music is something that I'm getting more into. Like, it's not directly related, but I feel like Lorna Shore would be something that would go in there, Fit for an Autopsy's album from last year, which was amazing. That sort of stuff is becoming new to me and going on repeat, I think the thing that sticks out to me, or the band that sticks out to me the most within those genres would be Fit for an Autopsy, The Sea of Tragic Beasts, the title track on that song. A lot of them just stick with me, but it also has like the part that says The Sea of Tragic Beasts that gets stuck in my head, whereas with this I can't really think of a certain part that like sticks with me, one part that sticks out a lot as my favorite part or anything. Just overall, I think it's an impressive song. So for me, I'm still trying to figure out why that is, what it is that makes something like be something that I could get obsessed with, that I can put on repeat, and what kind of puts it into a category where it's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna jam this a few times a week and, you know, check out what else they have, but not quite all the way. So I don't know, though I don't know why I'm off on this tangent either. It's been a long day. So those are my thoughts on this song. I think that there's nothing in this style that they do, and they are nailing it. There's nothing they could have done differently, but it doesn't stick out to me immediately as one of my favorite songs, as much as a badass song that was really cool to listen to, if that makes sense. I'm talking about replay value, favorite, stuff like that, but I really enjoyed it. This is a sick track. So if you have a song that you want to be added to the list that I work off of when I do a generator pick or something like this video today, and you want it to be added to either of those lists that I work off of for these videos, both links for suggestions will be in the description of this video. Click on it, you can submit your suggestion with the link, title, that type of thing. Also, the invite link for the Discord server will be there in the description. We have a ton of new people joining lately. The Discord family is an awesome little community in there. I love it. So if you're interested in coming to join and hang, chat with us, the link will be in the description. And lastly, if you're enjoying the style of music, bands, and content that I post here on my YouTube channel, I post more music-related content on Instagram. My handle there is Rachel Reacts, just like my YouTube channel, but I will put it up here on the screen for you if you have any interest in following me, as well as put the link in the description. As always, thank you very much for watching. I appreciate it.